up again, ain't burned down, no, it's wearing light. Heritage and man, we tend the fire. It's really a year in review, like looking back on 2025, like what things went well, like what were some good things that happened, like memorable moments that happened during the year, and then some kind of wins and anti-accomplishments for the year. So don't really call them like losses, but like things that you either would have liked to have done or things that you would have liked that you wouldn't have done, like things you would have stopped,
done different,
done less of or differently. Yeah. So it's a framework to kind of go through that, to really, first of all, it's to just reflect on the year, right? Because I think it's kind of fun to reflect on, like look back and think about the year.
Okay.
It also helps if you're planning 2026, like making sure that the things that you want to do, you like fit them into the year, like you make them a priority for the year, and you don't get to, November or December of this year and you're like, oh man, I wish I would have done that. So it's just a way to look ahead and actually make sure that you are planning for the things that you actually want to do and accomplish for the year, no matter what they are, right? Health goals are fine, fitness goals, work goals, business goals, relationship goals, anything. So coming up with a framework for that too, and like how to structure it. Because I think people do or try to do resolutions and they don't ever work. Like,
yeah. So that's what I was thinking. We
never.
could like tie this, like what you're talking about, the process back into like New Year's resolution stuff. I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions. I'm a big fan of, if you're thinking of it on December 15th, do it.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
The easiest way to quit doing something is to plan on January 1st that you're going to start doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Why not start doing it when you thought of it?
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. And I think that's, as the saying goes, right? All the gyms fill up the first week of January and they're all empty by the first week of February.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing, right? Everybody goes, this is going to be my year. I go into the year, I'm going to do it. And then it just doesn't last. So coming up with a framework to like look back, and also a framework to plan the year, but also methods, techniques to kind of keep you on track. Things that you can do to stay on track.
So we were on the same wavelength. So what I was looking at was like, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was basically, don't do nothing, do something. So like you say, like New Year's resolutions, like I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to get in better shape. I'm going to start going to the gym. Okay. You get to January 20th and work rolls into it and you miss Thursday and Friday, and Monday rolls around and you're like, well, I missed Thursday and Friday. I'm done with it.
Yep.
But the whole point is to do something. Okay. You couldn't go to the gym on Thursday. Well, do some sit-ups, do some push-ups, do something. Don't do nothing.
Right.
And that's with anything.
Right. Yep. Agreed. Yeah. I haven't been on the podcast in a long time, or I haven't been on any videos, but I'm back now and lighter, more aerodynamic.
Yeah.
I think it's coming up on, it's not quite a year. It'll be a year in April. So it's a while with no beard. So having the naked face, I definitely miss it from time to time for sure. I think right now I'm at I'm shaving about once a week. Over the holidays, I think there was about almost 3 weeks, and it was getting to beard territory at that point. I mean, I was seriously considering, do we just jump back in or
keep on going
or keep it clean? The thing is though, is last year I shaved it because we were doing a big trip to Spain for a family wedding. This year we're going back to Spain for another family wedding. So it's like, I don't think I'm going to be able to grow it back because I'm probably going to have to shave it again for that wedding too. So if it comes back, it's going to be after the big trip in April. So yeah, different side of the family, but yeah, should be a fun party. Yeah, the last one, it was, I had never been to a wedding in Spain. I've heard about the weddings in Spain before. Like Diana was born in Spain. Her family's from Spain. So I was a little bit prepared, but not fully. Like the wedding, the wedding started, like we left the hotel at 10 a.m. and got back to the hotel at about 1 a.m. And we had Willie, who's 5. So he was a trooper and made it, through the whole day. Like he was still going at 12:30 when we were getting on the bus to come back to the hotel. But yeah, it was a party. So I think this one's going to be about the same. So we found out the first bus that leaves the venue, I think, is 12 or 12:30. So the first bus back is middle of the night. And like this one, they're still serving food at 12:15. They brought out more food for folks to eat. It was crazy, but ton of fun.
All day affair.
Yeah, so that's happening again. So yeah, back. Hopefully we'll make this a habit and get a bit more consistent recording together about stuff, but maybe we'll open it up to more topics. So
exactly. Don't get worried. We're not stopping stubble trouble. We're still going to talk beards, but we're kind of doing a pivot to broaden the subjects.
That's right. Yeah, I can still talk about beard. I have experience with beards. I just don't have one now. Like I've experienced them. But yeah, so today, this episode, I think we want to talk a little bit about, I mean, it's that time of year, New Year. Everyone comes at it with their, resolutions, their new year. This is my year. I'm going to do it this year. I'm going to come in with my resolutions and my plans and be, new year, new me. And then February hits and all those things go out the window.
They're an afterthought.
Yeah. So what we thought we'd talk about is approaches for, looking at 2025, looking at the last year, reflecting on it a bit, what went well, what didn't go so well, and then techniques for planning a successful 2026 and how to stick to it. So starting a year in review, like we were talking about earlier, I've been doing this in a similar way. Like these are things that I picked up from other people and the ways they do it, and I've kind of mashed it together a little bit to where it fits for me and makes sense in my mind. But I've been doing this will be the 3rd year that I've done it. And last year, my wife Diana and I both did it together. So we kind of sat down together and did it, which was kind of cool. And looking at the year in review, like the first thing that we focus on is just going through the months and trying to list out memorable moments from the year, month to month. And I'm a bit of a picture video fanatic. So I take pictures every day and usually some sort of video just about every day. And have for, I guess, going on 5.5 years now, 6 years. Um, so it's a little bit easier. I can kind of go through and see where we were and what trips we took and what we did, and then looking through like our calendar and journal, emails, trying to figure out all those things, memorable things by month that we did for the year. So doing it this year, it was really cool because we put all of the big events on a giant calendar, and I'll show you at the end kind of what it looks like. Yeah, it was neat. And then going through all of the photos to see the trips that we took, the places that we visited together, and the important things that happened through the year. It was really cool to take the time to do that. I think it's difficult to start, but like once you start doing that and tracking it, it's it's pretty neat.
Well, that's the same way with anything. It's hard to start, but once
Yeah.
you start and it becomes a habit,
Yeah.
it's second nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like what do they say? They're two the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
About the same, right? So after like do the memorable moments, one thing that I've seen people do to try to focus on, evaluating the year and planning for the next year is trying to take a rating of where they are in their life. Like think about the aspects of your life, whether it's, fitness, health, financial, work, family, relationships, where you live, whatever, and give it a one to 10 rating, right? Where do you think you are? And pick your number. And then once you have an honest number, then try to think of 3 specific things that would prevent that number from being a 10. Like, what are 3 specific things or areas of your life that if they were a little bit different or better in some way, whether it's you either did something differently or stopped doing something, that would get you closer to a 10? That's, I think, pretty interesting technique to do, to kind of reframe how you're thinking of what you did last year and where you want to go in the new year. After that, you get a little bit more detailed if you want to, and this I've found to be pretty beneficial, is by month for the last year, try to list out wins for each month, 1 to 3 wins for the month. And they can be anything. You can also group them by theme if you want to, whether they're work wins, health or fitness wins, relationship wins, money wins, experience wins, travels, positive things that happened in each month of the year. Then think of kind of anti-accomplishments that happened through the year. And that one gets a little bit trickier, right? So I call them anti-accomplishments because not really losses, like wins and losses is wins and anti-accomplishments. It's really more, there are lessons around all failures.
Yeah.
So that's really why I like to kind of frame it as an anti-accomplishment. So think of those things too with the same types of categories. Once you have that, then you can kind of take a look at, all right, out of all of these things, positive and negative, what were if you do an 80-20 analysis. So you've heard of an 80-20 analysis, like 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort.
Yeah.
And that rule pretty much applies to everything. I mean, just about everything in life. Like, yeah, it's, if you're in business, 80% of your revenue are usually going to come from 20% of your customers. Um, it applies to most things. So if you take wins and anti-accomplishments and look back at the year, try to look at what 20% of the wins or the positive things led to 80% of the positive outcomes. Like, what are the things that you did produced 80% of the best results for the year? That's going to kind of identify some of the things that you want to lean into in the new year. And then if you flip it a bit and look at, okay, what 20% of the things that I did led to 80% of the anti-accomplishments. Like, what were some of those things? Like for me, the definitely positive is I think I stuck to my getting up early routine and working out first thing in the morning pretty well for the year, which was great. So I think that for me is important, both like physically and mentally. Like if I don't work out for 2-3 days in a row, I'm grumpy.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
I'm very grumpy. So that is a good thing. And I think that's definitely part of, that 20% of the effort that led to 80% of the results. So that's something I definitely want to continue and lean into a bit more. I think if I look at the 20% that led to the 80% of the, anti-accomplishments, for me, it's gonna be screen time. I know a lot of
Mm,
people say that, and that seems to be, you know, many people's issues, um, especially with much of work being a screen. It's like I saw someone say they wake up and they look at a 6-inch screen for an hour, then they go to work and they look at a 12-inch screen or 14-inch screen for 8 hours. Then they come home and they look at a 55 or 65-inch screen for 4 hours. Then
yeah.
they go back and look at a 6-inch screen for another 2 hours, and then they go to sleep. It's
Yeah.
like their entire day is just a different size screen. Um, that's definitely something I want to focus more on doing less of, is the screen time for sure. Yeah. So that leads you into kind of, what do you want to start in the next year? What would you like to keep doing in the next year? And what would you like to stop? So you can take those same themes and list them out, as far as health goes. What do you want to start if you're not doing something that you should be doing? What do you want to keep doing? And then what do you want to stop doing? And then look at same for relationships, financial experiences, and kind of structure it that way. So that kind of tees you up for areas of focus for the next year.
I think
And that's,
one thing you said too. So, like you said that you and Diana both do it. So you do it as a
Mhm.
couple. Like
Yep.
she might do her goals, you do your goals, and you put it on a calendar where it's seen every day. So
Yep.
like I go to the gym. Well, I'm now in the gym by myself, no partner. But in the past, I've always had a partner. And I think, like you said, with you and Diana both doing it, or you and your spouse, whoever's watching, them and their spouse, you're going to hold each other accountable
Yeah.
to a point. You're going to,
Hmm.
if your goal is to work out every day of the week and Diana comes home and you're on the sofa watching TV, eating Cheetos, she's going to look at you and say, did you work out today?
Hmm.
And that's going to put something in your head that's going to, you're going to get up, you're going to quit eating the Cheetos and go do
Hmm.
something, anything to so
Yeah.
you can put that down as one of your accomplishments for the day that you had planned.
Right. Right. Agreed. And that's, yeah, definitely the two pieces that I found that work really, really well is if you're trying to start something, like set a reasonable bar. Like if you're not working out at all, don't say I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week
Mhm.
cuz that's not going to happen. Say I'm going to go to the gym 1 day a week and I'm going to do that until it is a habit and then I can increase that habit. Then I can maybe go 2 days a week or
Yeah,
maybe go, after a couple months, maybe go 3 days a week. But I think until you're able to meet, consistently meet a bar, especially if it's something you haven't done before or haven't done in a long time. I think it's very hard to just flip a switch and be like, I'm all in every day. Um, that said, one technique we could talk about that I think seems to work is if you're really committed to something, if you try just short stints, right? Just say, I'm going to try this for 30 days in a row without missing a day. Like if it's something you want to either stop or something you want to start, if it's small and there's like a low bar, low friction to actually get it done. I think creating that, you know, they say don't break the streak, right? If you can start a streak and do it for a number of days in a row, it's much easier to make that a continuing habit.
yeah.
So I think it was last year, was when I started writing online. Like I took a writing course. It was more of an accountability course, right? So it was a cohort, a group of people, and we were all going to they called it Ship 30 for 30. So you had to write 30 articles or 30 online pieces 30 days in a row without missing. Had to do it every day. And we would all try to hold each other accountable, right? It was a group. Everybody's supposed to be, writing and publishing every day. Um, that was awesome. I did it 300 days in a row before I stopped. So I did it every day. I did the 30 for 30 and then kept going. Um, that was, yeah, kind of cool. I'm very glad I did it. I'm not that way with everything, but that kind of worked really, really well for me. Not that I do it every day now, but I definitely have a habit of it, so I do it more days than not. But I think having the accountability piece helps, and then being able to develop a streak, even if it's something short and easy, and then growing it from there.
Yeah, I think that's like you said, it's starting it.
Hmm.
And it's not I know we often anybody, New Year I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions because usually it's something you keep to yourself. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
do this. I'm gonna learn to play the guitar, learn to go to the gym. You say
Mhm.
it to yourself.
Yeah.
So not many people hold their self accountable.
Hmm.
So if you miss a couple of days and then all of a sudden you're off the bandwagon and you're like, well, I'll do it next year.
Right.
So it's the accountability thing. I think writing it down or discussing it with somebody else
Yep.
to say, I want to do this. And if you can get somebody else to agree with you that they want to do the same thing, that's going to be awesome. That's what's going to
Yep.
sustain whatever you're trying to do. If you're trying to learn to play the guitar, if you're
Yep.
whatever it is, we use gym as that's the common one. Everybody says at the beginning of the year, I'm going to start
Hmm.
going to the gym. And
Yep.
like we've talked in the past, January 1st or 2nd or 3rd, the gyms are packed. You cannot find a piece of equipment to
Mm-mm.
save your life. But you wait till about February 5th and there's
Mm.
nobody in there. It's the same people
Mhm.
that were in there December 5th
Yep.
that were in there February 5th. So
Right.
it's
Right.
doing something and letting somebody know what your plan is.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. That makes a huge difference.
Tend the fire. Tend the fire. That's the whole thing. Heritage and man.